proceed.
Calling John White, 2015 365 9032B.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
For the record, Your Honor, Joseph H. Ehrlich appearing on behalf of Thomas Brennan Frazier, who is the petitioner in this matter.
Scott Rooney on behalf of three of the interested parties. You need me to name them?
Pardon me?
Do you need me to put their names on? They can,
Why don't you?
okay.
Go ahead.
James, Doug, and Bruce White.
Okay, Jeff White's here.
Right behind me, I think, Judge.
And who's representing David White? Nobody?
No one, because Judge, we called everyone yesterday. It is our intention today to simply withdraw this petition and to move forward with the administration in a different way. We think this is a waste of estate time and assets if we can move forward in a different way and accomplish the same goal. And that's just what we're going to do. We're going to treat it as though we are, for purposes of administration, just Tom's going to fulfill Tom's responsibilities, and we're really not going to worry about getting the joint agreement of and the court can sort that out. We just believe we've spent so much money on this that it just doesn't make any sense if we have a more efficient, easier way to do this and keep the administration moving forward.
Okay. Do you have anything to say about that?
The only thing I would add, excuse me, Your Honor, is it's my understanding that they filed this petition because David was not providing the information necessary for them to do accountings. It's my understanding from what Mr. Ehrlich has advised me that Mr. Frazier is going to file an accounting, and I'd just like some kind of date put on it so that my clients could see the accounting. It's been over 2 years since an accounting's been filed.
Okay.
So if maybe in the next week or so he can file the accounting,
I don't think I can do it within the next week, Your Honor, only because I can't get to it. I would say
do the accounting within the next week or so?
that's what he wants us to do. I don't believe we can do it that way. We are going to file it as a single fiduciary accounting. The counter will have problems, the court may have problems, but we believe this is the easiest way to go forward. And it does.
How long do you think you need?
Oh, I would think Tom needs no more than, I would say, 30 days.
Okay. Jeff White, what do you want to say?
Your Honor, I'm here just present today as the third son of John White, asking for an accounting on my father's estate. And
do you have anything to say about
I don't understand
withdrawing the petition to remove David White?
I object to that also. I thought they were pursuing with that aspect. That's why I pursued with Mr. Frazier beforehand, because I thought he wasn't doing his job as the priority personal rep,
What does beforehand mean? Before they filed the petition?
No, in August, you guys, they filed a petition in June. I filed a petition in August to remove Mr. Frazier because I didn't see anybody going forward with anything. And now I'm here before you, Your Honor, today, asking for the reasons why Tom is not removing David.
He just explained. He said it's the cost of going through the process of litigating the petition is not worth it. The cost benefit, okay, of doing that. He said that he believes, on behalf of Tom Frazier, that Tom Frazier can perform the duties that he needs to perform and that need to be performed for the trust without removing David, that they can work around it, is basically what he was saying. Then Mr. Rooney said he had no problem with that, but he wants the accounting he's been waiting for, which apparently was part of the reason that the petition to remove David was filed. I think that's what Mr. Rooney implied, okay, is that there were problems working with David, even to the point of not being able to put together an accounting. Which was one of the reasons he believes the petition was filed. I think that's what you were trying to say.
That's my understanding as to why the petition was filed.
And so he said he wanted accounting within a week or so. Mr. Ehrlich has asked for 30 days. I think a week is too short a time, personally. And Mr. Ehrlich has asked for 30. I find that it's reasonable. That's what's gone on up to now. and that's why things have happened. So what do you want to say about that?
Again, I disagree, but it's been since 2012, 13 that, we've warned, our other brothers have warned the courts and Mr. Frazier about David, and it's been 3-4 years now, and nothing's going on, nothing's taking place.
So
I only brought that petition to Mr. Frazier in August only to bring.
Mr. White.
Can I just explain myself about the petition there? Just to get
Which
some answer.
petition?
The one that I brought towards Mr. Frazier.
That
just,
isn't what's up right now.
I understand that, but at the same time, he's withdrawing his. Maybe I'm going to get an answer here within the next month. Is that correct? Is that
An
what you're talking?
answer of what?
To what's going on with my father's estate. That's all I was ever asking for.
What kind of answer? When you got up here, one of the first things you said was you wanted an accounting of your father's estate.
Correct.
And I just explained to you that Mr. Rooney, and if you had been listening, you would have picked this up. Mr. Rooney said, in response to his request to withdraw his petition, he said, I want an accounting, and I want it within a week or so. And Mr. Ehrlich said, can't do it within a week or so, I'm gonna do it within 30 days. So that's at least already on the table with regard to what you got up here and asked about. Okay?
And he said that once before to you in 2016, that he'd have it done within a shorter period of time too, correct?
I don't remember specifically.
Well, I do
but
remember specifically.
Why would you ask me a question and then cut me off in the middle of my answer?
I'm not asking you a question and cutting you off.
You did ask me a question, didn't you?
I'm not trying to cut you off, sir. I'm here as
I don't
frustrated.
recall him saying that, but I'll take your word for it. But that's what we've been discussing here. Mr. Ehrlich apparently filed his petition to remove David in part because he was having trouble getting David to work with him to prepare an accounting. Okay?
Okay. So let me ask you this. If they prepare the accounting in 30 days, would it be fine that then I would withdraw my petition, that I would get my answers from Mr. Frazier? Would that be
Would it
fair?
fine? Yeah.
Okay. So will I get that answer also in 30 days along with
Which
Mr.
answer?
From Mr. Ehrlich?
What answer? Answer to what? The accounting?
Yes.
Everybody's gonna get served with the accounting. Everybody.
Yes, you represent yourself. Mr. Rooney will be served on behalf of your three brothers, and you will be served because you represent yourself. So anything we file, you will get a copy of.
Okay. Do this again and put a date on it. 30 days is gonna be a weekend, and so pick the Monday after.
Excuse me, Your Honor, may I bring up one more thing? If I could have, I had requested from Mr. Ehrlich, and he says before that they'll get me a listing of the fees and costs so far incurred by Mr. Frazier as well as Mr. Ehrlich.
Trying to work with David and the fees and costs related to filing a petition to remove, because you want those assessed against David.
Yeah.
That's all you were getting at there.
Two things. One, I want the cost here assessed against David because he's not the one, he's the one that failed to work. So it doesn't
Right. I
affect
get
the
it. I get it. That's
Okay.
why, without you even saying it, I knew at least one of the things you wanted, and
Yeah.
why.
And the only other thing I want is, if Mr. Ehrlich and Mr. Frazier can give us a number of what their bulk.
It's part of the account.
Okay, it'll be part of the accounting?
Yeah.
So that he'll include his fees from day one, and Mr. Frazier will include his fees from day one in the accounting, and Mr. Ehrlich has said that that will be included.
Okay. Is there some kind of, it may be obvious, okay, when you say it'll be included in the accounting, I'm assuming you're talking about, there'll be a billing statement that'll say, for example, telephone call with, David White attempting to get information for accounting, some obvious things.
Right.
There'll be some other things that aren't obvious. Is there a way you can designate them in the?
I don't know yet until I look
Okay,
at the statement.
do your
Judge.
best.
I'll do the best. What he's asking for, Your Honor, we have been preparing a separate petition for allowance of our fees and Mr. Frazier's fees to be separate from the account, but it'll be referenced in the account. So he will get what he wants, which is a full statement. I'm not sure how I break down, because it's gone over more than a year and a half, so I'm not sure I break it down, but I'll look at the statement and do the best I can to break down the specific costs.
All right. So the date for the accounting is October 15th, just so you know.
Thank you.
What else did you want to say, sir?
Just that I'm very unhappy with the results of this whole ordeal for 4 years. I just want to let you know that, and I am speaking with others at the county commissioner level
Oh, you know what?
and the state level.
Not to worry. See,
Okay, thank you.
we are fully aware here at the Oakland County Probate Court of your complaints and your wife's complaints and so many other people's complaints and going over the commission, and that's okay, okay?
All right.
Whatever. The more the merrier over there. Knock
I just
yourself
wanted to
out
let you
with-
know my unhappiness with the court.
I already know, Mr. White.
Okay,
I know. I
Thank you.
absolutely know.
thank you. You don't have to go on,
I will
sir.
have it written on the file. Jeff White and Jody White, who's not a party to this case.
You don't have to bring in my wife, okay? You don't have to bring her into
I,
this.
I don't have to bring her in.
No.
I never asked her to come in, but she's pushed herself in on these things on her own. I didn't ask for it.
She only was here in regards to my children's educational funds. It
Is that
took
right?
over 2 years to get.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Then why is she here today?
she must have drove by herself.
And when she's over there at the commissioner's auditorium and sending out her emails, they aren't just about her children. Okay?
Because she sees the, excuse the expression, but the nonsense of these two gentlemen, Mr. Ehrlich and Mr.
These two,
Frazier.
he's one gentleman. Isn't
Well, but I know Mr. Frazier never shows. He's not here today. He never shows up.
he? Never
not very
shows up.
often. Not very often. He's
Okay, so we've gone from never to not very often.
yeah. He's a very truthful,
Truth.
dishonest trustee in my
You know what?
opinion.
Your wife better stop her gesticulating and all her antics back there, or I will have her arrested and thrown in jail for contempt of court. Okay? And if she didn't hear it, you deliver the message. You warn her, because you're going to be visiting her in jail if she doesn't knock it off in my courtroom. I absolutely will hold her in contempt in a heartbeat.
I'm done being threatened by you. I'm done being threatened.
Would you like to continue, sir?
I would like to hold her in contempt right now for that little display, and order that she appear back here tomorrow. No, I'll give her till next Wednesday to appear back here. I'm thinking about it.
Do you
If
want?
she ever comes in here again and acts up in any way, I will hold her in contempt, period. No second chance, no nothing. And she will be put in handcuffs and thrown in jail. And you can get a copy of this transcript, and you can publish it to the world. for
I'm
all I
sure she
care.
will. I'm sure she will.
Okay.
Your Honor, I just have one thing to add, not
Sure.
on this. We have previously had numerous motions on the college savings funds. And I told the court I would give you an update as to those. I was able to secure payment for both Mitchell and Emma, of college
Thank you.
savings funds.
My guess is Jeff White and Jody White will never thank you for doing that, so I'll do it
Thank you.
on behalf of the court anyways for helping us out.
Excuse me, Your Honor. You brought up my name. I did thank him prior to this, okay? Your Honor, I did thank Mr. Rooney.
Did I see it in print anywhere?
No, but I did
Did I
thank,
see
but you
anybody
just
tell,
assumed.
did I see anybody tell
You
the
brought my name up,
commissioners
sir, and said that I wouldn't
Mr.
thank
Rooney, that Mr. Rooney, at my request, did something he didn't have to do based on a request from me, which I didn't have to do because that
And I want to
issue
thank,
has
I
nothing
want
to
to
do
thank
with
you
this
too,
court.
Your Honor.
Do not talk over me. But has one word been said over there in a positive fashion toward Mr. Rooney or myself as a result of that? You know what? And I remember reading about Jody White actually not only chastising me for my handling of it, and not only Mr. Ehrlich, but Mr. Rooney as well. And he was doing a favor for you people. Yet, but you couldn't recognize it, and you went over there to the commissioners and went after myself mostly, Mr. Ehrlich, even more, I should say, and Mr. Rooney over that issue. That amazed me because Mr. Rooney and Mr. Ehrlich were total volunteers in that.
well, you're
Complete
misspeaking
No,
about
I'm
me,
not.
speaking about you
No, I'm
and
not.
Mr. Rooney, but I'm only speaking about Mr. Ehrlich and Mr.
No,
Frazier.
I'm not. I'm not.
Yes, I
I'm
am.
speaking. I watched it.
Okay,
I
well,
watched
watch it. I'm speaking about Mr. Ehrlich and Mr. Frazier, the public administrator that's supposed to be a part of the AG. And he's done a horrible job.
I don't know what, this is the first I've heard about things being said about me at a commission hearing.
Oh,
If-
and in
if
writing,
somebody-
emails that are spread all over the place.
If somebody could
That was the only thing that was brought up about you.
tell me about, I don't,
It's,
when,
I'll tell you how to get the site.
thank you,
You're welcome.
thank you.
'Cause it was, you were just named almost in passing.
Thank you.
But,
Thank you, Your Honor.